Hi everyone, can we just talk about how perfect this time of the year is just for a second? It's late August and there's something so magical about these last few weeks of summer. The light outside is getting softer, the air is a little bit crispier, and honestly, I'm starting to crave those cozy fall vibes already. I don't know about you, but this is the time of the year where I get really intentional about my reading. Like, summer was all about reading those light, breezy beach reads and some books that I did not finish. But now I'm ready to read stories that are really going to make me feel something. I'm actually heading to Lake Tahoe next week to do a little summer trip before summer ends. I keep telling myself I will do these summer activities when summer come, but never end up doing because I'm always so busy all the time. So this time around we have decided to take a little break and I'll take my books along and read by the beach and just make it a summer activity like one should before summer ends. There is always something so special about being in nature, sitting with a book near water or in a park and just taking it all in. I've also been carefully curating the books that I want to bring to this trip so that it feels more intentional and it feels like a proper vacation. And I also want to match these books with the transitional energy that we are in. So today I bring to you a list of 5 books that are perfect for this transitional period we are in, from summer to fall. Think of it like a reading journey. We'll start with something warm and bright, and by the end of it all, we'll be in slow, cozy contemplation mode. These books are going to ease you into autumn in the most beautiful way. Does that sound good? Let's dive in. And hey, if you're new, welcome. Welcome to this beautiful space where we talk about books and everything under the stars. I love talking about all kind of books, especially books that match different moods, different seasons. I am a person who enjoy variety a lot, so you'll find all kind of book recommendation on this channel. So if that's your thing, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have been here before, welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Someone in my recent videos commented about this spatula that I've been using as a mic, and they said maybe next time I should use a kadhai. Kadhai is like a big, deep Indian utensil which cannot be used as a handle for this mic. But to think of it, it is very funny because I realized this is a very small cheap mic that I use, and I will mostly attach it to my cloth, whatever I'm wearing, but I have kind of noticed there is a rustle when I'm moving and the cloth rubs against the mic. So this is perfect. This is a perfect solution that works for me. It's black and it does the job. We get innovative here. We make do with what we have, kind of like a jugaad. That out of the way, let's get into the list. Hi there, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pooja at A Book by the Window. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are reading good. Book number 1 in this list is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Can we just talk about Emily Henry for a hot second? She is one of the most popular romance authors right now, and you cannot avoid reading at least one of her books. Like, this woman have mastered the art of making me laugh, cry, and contemplate all my life decisions in just one chapter. It's honestly kind of impressive. Happy Place is basically if friends had a baby with the samurai turned pretty and then that baby went to therapy. It's about this group of friends who do the same beach rental every summer. One of those traditions that feel magical until real life gets messy. There is Harriet, who's literally pretending her engagement did not just fall apart because she doesn't want to ruin everyone else's trip. Can you imagine the emotional labor? If I were her, I would just stay home with some ice cream or sad movies, but she power on. Here is why this book is perfect right now. It's got all that perfect summer nostalgia we all have been craving for, a romance that is sure to swoon you in, but it also doesn't sugarcoat the fact that growing up is weird and hard, and sometimes your friends become stranger along the way. It's like you start reading it on a beach with a fruity drink, and by the end of it all, you are curled up on the beach thinking about your own friendships, whether you have also grown apart from the people you once loved, but in a kind of a funny and humorous way. There's this line from the book that has gutted me. Our love is a place we can always come back to. Like, excuse me, Emily Henry, why are you making me feel emotional about these fictional characters? Okay, now we are switching gears because this next book is going to transport you. Book number 2 in the list is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Now picture this. You are in Tokyo and you stumble across this tiny cafe that looks like it hasn't changed since 1985. And surprise, you can actually time travel. But there is a plot twist. There are some very strict rules that has to be followed for people who want to time travel. You can only sit in one specific chair. You cannot move from that chair at all. You definitely, whatever you do, you definitely cannot change the future or the present. And the most important rule of it all, you have to get back before your coffee gets cold. Like the universe really said, we are going to give you this power to time travel, but also give you this anxiety about the temperature of a beverage. Even then, this book wrecked me in the most beautiful way. Each chapter is like a mini movie. There's this woman who wants to see her boyfriend one more time before he moves to another country. Then there's a story about two sisters who are torn apart, but how they come together. And there's also this really heart-wrenching story about a mother and a child, and the mother who wants to see the child who she never knew. You have to find it for yourself what I'm talking about. I really ugly cried while finishing this last night in bed, and my husband was sleeping beside me, and I really didn't want to wake him up because he will be really worried what I'm doing late at night, reading a book in bed and sobbing my eyes out. But that's the kind of pain this book gives you. It is the kind of magical realism that doesn't feel pretentious. It is a book that makes you think, what would life looks like if you cannot change the present or the past or the future, but you can at least understand what happened once. And for an emotional person like me, this kind of plot hit me harder than any kind of time travel to save the world. This book also has this really beautiful line. At the end of the day, whether one returns to the past or travels to the future, the present doesn't change. And that is the whole point sometimes, not changing the past or the present, but accepting it and understanding it. Now, if you're ready to have your heart shattered in the most beautiful way, book number 3 in the list is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. I really need you to prepare yourself for this one. Like maybe clear your schedule, warn your friends and family that you're going to be emotionally unavailable, and curl up with a box of tissues in bed. Hamnet is about Shakespeare's family, specifically the death of his son Hamlet. But don't worry, if you failed all your English lessons, you really don't need to know a lot about Shakespeare to understand this book. You also don't really need to remember anything about Hamlet the play. This is purely a loving and devastating story about love and loss. Maggie O'Farrell writes like she's painting with words. Every sentence is so lush, you want to read it at least twice just to savor it. It is sort of like literary ASMR, but more heartbreaking. Sometimes the way she describes grief, it is like she's reaching out into your heart and pulling out those emotions you really didn't know exist in the first place. There is this one scene where the mother is teaching her children about the plague, and I literally had to put the book down because it was heartwarming and sad at the same time. This is your sitting by the fire with a wine in your hand kind of book. It really demands to be savored. It is the literary equivalent of autumn, gorgeous, melancholic, in a way absolutely unforgettable. Let's take a tiny emotional break with equivalently beautiful and emotionally wrecking book. Book number 4 in the list is Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. We're talking about identity here. I am sure if you have lived on this earth, you would have found yourself torn between two identities. Maybe it is your family expectations and your dreams, or about your past and future, or just about who you were and who you are becoming. The Namesake is about Gogol, yes, a kid named after the Russian writer, born to immigrants Ashok and Ashima in America. And yes, as any kid born to immigrant parents, he's as confused as it can get. After his parents immigrated from India to America, he's stuck between these two worlds, one that he sees at home and one that he goes outside and perceives. He also perceives his name as to be this weird sound and he doesn't like it, but there is a reason his father named him Gogol, and it's kind of a heartwarming story. He will only come to realize the importance of that love once he grew older and he makes identity of his own. He comes to terms with his own identity, and it's a very beautifully woven story about conflicting spaces that we live in. And whether it be you an immigrant or not an immigrant, just living in the country that you were born in, we all come across these identity crises because we take from our parents and we try to make sense of the world from their eyes. But as time passes, as generations grow old, things also changes, and everyone and all of us are torn between these two worlds all the time. What I really loved about Jhumpa Lahiri's writing is it is deceptively simple. Like, she never shows off with fancy words, but each of these sentences, each of these words carries an emotional weight that tells the story really beautifully. It is like she whispers these characters into existence. And the book grows with Google. It starts very restless and searching, kind of like summer energy. But as he grows older and life gets more complicated, the story also becomes more reflective. By the end of it all, you are in full autumn contemplation mode, thinking about your own identity and belonging. If you have some time, I would also suggest you watch the movie adaptation by Meera Nair. The characters are played by Tabu and later Irfan Khan, and it is one of the most beautiful movies I have watched till date. I've watched it a couple of times in my lifetime, and I always am in tears after watching the movie. Honestly, if you have ever struggled with cultural identity, this book will make you think twice about what you thought you'll become, and you would have to agree this is the most autumnish type feeling you will ever get. And finally, we are ending with something that is going to feed your soul. Book number 5 in the list is 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. This is the last book and it is a big one emotionally. This weaves two stories together. There is Ella, who is really feeling stuck with her own predictable life, and then there is the historical story of Rumi, the very famous poet, and his very beloved mentor Shams of Tabriz. Here is where the books get very interesting. Through Shams, we get to know about these 40 rules of love that you must follow to live life, and each lesson is very beautifully disguised as poetry. I'm not talking about cheesy Instagram quote kind of poetry. I'm talking about deep, soul-stirring, why didn't anyone tell me about this before kind of poetry. It is the kind of book that will make you pause your audiobook and stare at the ceiling for 10 minutes straight, just deeply contemplating life and processing all what you just heard. It is really passionate and fairy like summer romance, but also really deeply meditative, perfect for those late autumn evenings when you want to contemplate your own life. Just a fair warning, you will want to text your friends at 2 a.m. in the night, sending screenshots of the poetry that you are just reading in front of your eyes. They might not appreciate it at 2 in the night, but your soul will feel lighter. So there you have it, 5 lovely books that are perfect for this transitional energy as we go from summer to fall. We have to acknowledge how beautiful this time of year is. Summer is just ending, but instead of being sad about it, we can finally get into those relaxing contemplative vibes that make fall even more magical. I'm genuinely curious to know which of these books really spoke to your soul. Are you team Give Me All the Feels with Hamnet? Or are you team I want magical realism in my life with coffee time travel? Let me know in the comment section below. If there are any books that you have already read and enjoyed, also let me know. Or there are more books that we can add to the list. I am all ears to open a discussion in the comment section below. If this video made you add 17 new books to your TBR, first of all, you are welcome. And second of all, smash that subscribe button so that we can feed each other's book addiction together. That is all for today. Until next time, thank you for watching this video. May your coffee stay warm and your books unput down. Until next time, happy reading.